I couldn't sleep the night before the game.
Steve was the ultimate point guard.
He was so difficult to guard because of the players that he played around and just how smart he was with the basketball.
Right. I want it. Let me see it.
Right.
He was like, oh, word. He licked his finger. Backed up. Said, oh.
Nice job, Steve Nash.
He is some player. He is some basketball player.
By Diao. That triggers the rush the other way by Nash. Oh, what a pass. Yeah!
Wait, Nash goes. This is 3 for the tie. Good! Steve Nash!
Steve Nash is one of my favorite point guards to watch because his basketball IQ was off the charts. He could read defenses like a book and always seemed to be 2 steps ahead. What made him even more dangerous was how insanely efficient he was as a shooter. He's one of the few players in NBA history to join the 50-40-90 club, and he did it 4 times, which is just crazy. That means he shot over 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. Basically automatic from anywhere. But what really set him apart was his playmaking. He was a leader, a competitor, and a guy you could always count on in clutch moments. At the end of the day, Steve Nash wasn't just one of the best point guards ever. He was the kind of player who made everyone around him better and made the game more beautiful to watch. So I'm going to show you a collection of NBA legends and players explaining how special Steve Nash was. Enjoy the video, man.
It all started with him trying to prove himself, trying to make it, trying to get better every year.
An incredible play by Steve Nash.
His court vision was next to no other. Sometimes in traffic, you think it's impossible that he sees that guy and he still hits the cutter with an incredible pass.
Nash blows by Anderson. Oh, what a wraparound to dirt!
I just don't think anybody really knew what he was capable of by having the ball and literally orchestrating the entire offense. I think you'll be hard-pressed to find another player of that caliber. He's one of the best point guards we've ever had.
My heart.
Second MVP over Shaquille O'Neal?
I think what happened was, because that's to a 60-win season or 58-win season.
Without his number 1 guy.
Without his main, with that second one, because he was able to withstand his number 1 guy out and still be in the top team in the league.
I had to guard, I got switched out on anybody, but I got switched out on Steve Nash over here. And I thought I had some little win, so I was like, yeah, nigga, let me see it.
Right.
I want it, let me see it.
Right.
He was like, oh, word? He licked his finger. Backed up. I said, oh, shit. Look, I screwed up, right? My little nervous ass screwed up. Hit him on the ass, and it came in, I hit him on that. Oh, he fucked the whole shit up because I smacked him on the ass, right?
First person to bust my ass, Steve Nash. I had a stretch. I had a stretch where I had D-Rose, Rondo. Then I went to the West Coast. I had Russ, CP, and Steve Nash. Ooh. And this one, he got run the pick and roll. He always dribble around the baseline. He went 10 for 10 against me. I was like, there's no way in hell he cooking me like this. But yeah, that's the first one that gave me a welcome to the NBA moment for sure.
Did he hit his little signature layout fade?
Yeah, I was mad. I'm contesting. I'm chasing him. I was like, man, I don't even care about scoring right now. I just gotta get a stop.
You and Nash led the league in offensive efficiency every year until 2010 and 11.
Now I want to score. I want to tell the
point guard your rookie year. Who?
Stephon Marbury. Steph was my point guard my rookie year. He was more of a scoring point guard, yes. And then we take it from there.
Steve and Stephon Marbury gave me the most problems. Gave me the most problems. I love Stephon Marbury.
Yeah, big bro.
Yeah, Steve was just a headache because he could do it. He could do it all.
Without being fast.
Steve was excellent, man.
Chris, what do you remember about the first time you played against Steve? The first time? Yeah. He probably don't remember, but I remember. I couldn't sleep the night before the game.
Such a
Really?
liar.
I'm dead serious. Really? Not on that type stuff. Relax. Not on that type. But it was just like this was like the pinnacle of point guards. You know what I mean? So for me, I remember we played in Baton Rouge because the hurricane had hit. We played in Baton Rouge. I was in New Orleans at the time. And I couldn't sleep the night before the game because I just wanted to kill him. Because he was, how you measure yourself. And I just remember.
2-time MVP in an era with Kobe, Duncan, Shaq. I mean, how does this guy win 2 MVPs? That's how good he was.
Well,
that's how good he made his team.
There's some people who ask that question even today, but continue.
That's how good he made his team. This guy's a 2-time MVP in the era we have Duncan, Shaq, Kobe, Iverson, guys like Tracy McGrady, Garnett.
Paul Pierce.
This guy's a back-to-back MVP. What else can you say? It's unfortunate that run that they had because of the bench clearing.
Right.
Versus the San Antonio Spurs, I believe the Suns would have won the championship that
I mean, they
year.
certainly feel that way.
Tracy, what kind of case can you make to get Steve Nash?
I don't have to make a case.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there in front of you, man. But what I will say is, you're talking about a fierce competitor, tough guy. I mean, he was just a master at running that offense under D'Antoni, and him and Amari Stoudemire. Like, he was so difficult to guard because of the players that he played around and just how smart he was with the basketball. Hell of a passer. I think what people don't realize, he was an awesome shooter. Awesome shooter.
Amazing.
Knocked down, couldn't leave him open.
Anywhere.
No, not at all. 50, 90 guy, 4 times. Come on, man.
Yeah. Listen, one of the guys, and there weren't a lot of them, to be honest with you, that I felt a lot of times didn't have an advantage on mentally. Right. I was always trying to be 2-3 steps ahead of a guy, thinking the game a little further out than most of my competitors. Steve was on that level. Right. It was great competing against him. I mean, obviously, 2-time MVP. Worked hard again to get there. I mean, his early Dallas years, it was kind of up and down. I can remember them booing him sometimes in that arena at a young age, and you know, he turned out to be one of the greats. And I know to me, when I kind of measure greatness, you talk about how many guys he made better.
Oh man.
And there's a long list of guys for not only for Steve.
You got a lot of guys paid, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
How was your experience playing with Stevie on the strip? Like,
Amazing, man.
Hey, please talk about it.
Man, you know what? The
man,
first
Stevie.
couple of days playing with Steve, man, I was getting turnovers because he literally just throw the ball this way, and I'm bobbling it. So I'm like, man, I got to run through the lane, you know, not having used to a point guard that's just always passing. So I realized, like, every time I cut, just always look for the ball because he is going to get to you. If you're open, it's going to get to you.
One of my favorite little setups that Steve used to do is, like, you know, he always on the fly, always whipping, and we always on the wings and shit. Steve, you come full speed ahead at you and hand that bitch to you and screen your man, and you bucking naked. You know what I'm talking about? The way he would do it, he would do it in a way that where you got all the space and everything, and the man gonna have to knock his ass over. Like, he even got a couple offensive fouls here and there because the people would be, they started to know that he would do that. Bro, first couple times he did that, I was like, damn, like he'd come full speed ahead at you. You kind of like, hold up. Then he handed that bitch to you and stepped there. You like, damn, okay. Bow. Start hitting that bitch. He said, it's a layup. I said, yo, this boy Stevie, he was sick with it.
It was a lot of fun. Practice was always competitive.
And Jason and I started. So every time we would practice, Jason and I'd be on the same team and Steve Nash would be on the other team. Jason and my team and our starting team never beat Steve Nash's team. And this is before he's Steve Nash that everybody knows.
Nash is a gym rat. He was competitive, wanted to win, and I thought he was going to push me to become better. And I thought it was a great trio of point guards to learn from the best.
So there was no doubt for us that he was going to be a budding superstar. It was just a matter of him getting quality, consistent minutes. And once he got them, the rest was history.
He was so unselfish, bro. Nash was so unselfish, and he made everybody around us better. He knew at times, you know, Quentin Richardson led the league in three-point makes that year. I led the league. He could have scored 25 a night, but he settled for 16 points, 14 assists.
The Shaq one was kind of controversial. Did Steve deserve both of those MVPs?
Man, he did. I'm gonna tell you why, bro. We had a stretch. We had a stretch where he missed like 8 to 10 games. We probably won 1 game, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's how.
That's impact.
That's how important he was to us. Because when we had him on the floor, it was like, you know, we was just blowing teams out left and right. But when he wasn't on the floor, it was like, why is the game so hard? You know what I mean?
So we were playing against the Lakers. This is 2010. During this game, I think Steve gets busted in his nose.
Nash took a shot. Once again, this time to the bridge of the nose.
And Steve looks at me, walks up to me, and is like, hey, Jenny, like, what's it look like? And I was like, oh. And he just goes, crunch.
He's trying to rearrange his nose.
And just, like, basically puts it back into place. And I was grossed out. I was like, oh. And he was like, oh, don't worry about it. You know, the adrenaline's going. And I asked him afterwards. He was like, oh, man, I broke this like 3 times playing, you know, rugby or something like that. That dude is, for as tiny as he was one of the strongest, toughest guys I've ever played with.
He was on the bullet for the Stars, and everybody was trying to catch up with us, man. It was a great start. We went on to have the best record of the franchise that year.
And when you have a primary ball handler like Steve Nash, who went on to be a two-time MVP, that's truly what set the table.
The greatness of Steve Nash is measured by how his ability to lead that offense. People assume you can just plug another point guard in and run that offense, and you cannot. So that shows you the greatness of Steve.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and tell me what is your favorite Steve Nash moment. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and until next time.